Hi, I'm Quentin Meek, and welcome to the Stock Show from my home in Lac-Brome. I was born in Ottawa. I grew up in Ottawa, and then I went off to university, and I guess I never returned. I ended up in Montreal making records. In 1970, I guess it was 70, I just fell in love with Quebec. I was actually going to university in engineering. I'd already worked at Studio 6 a little bit and been offered a job. I went in a co-op program, and I said, okay, hey, my work term, I'll come to the studio. So that's what I did. But they started hassling me at the university, saying, well, that's not really engineering. And I said, I know, but I like it. They wanted me to go to Guelph and work on transformers or something. And I said, nah, I don't think so. So I wanted to do both. I really wanted to continue with engineering, but I sort of said, well, I have to make a choice. And by that time I think I had done Jacques Mesrel's first album for me, Pas besoin de frapper. And I met Gilles Valiquette, who became a lifelong friend, and I did 9 albums with him after that. And a few years later, I kind of woke up and said, oh, I guess I'm in a career now. I wasn't sure what I was doing, right? You're young and you don't know.
On that old cabin road, lost all the friends I've ever known. Seems they just came to play. Ain't none around here today. Mother Lord, oh, I'm just a hermit getting old. Just searching for gold. Up on Richfield Mountains where I live, in an old shack, leaks like a sieve. And I wander searching for that gold, tracking stories I've been told. Mother Lord, oh, I'm just a hermit getting old. Mother Lord, oh, just searching for gold. They say that love is like a streak of gold. I don't know if that's right, but I aim to find out, for I'm stone cold. My campfire is burning bright, lighting up my lonesome night. And my dog is lying still. Tomorrow we'll go digging on that hill. Mother Lord, oh, I'm just a hermit getting old. Mother Lord, oh, just searching for gold. Just searching for gold.
I got to work with I mean, so many different people, everybody from Pauline Julien and Gilles Vigneault to Plume Latraverse and Walter Rossi and Octobre, and of course 9 albums with Gilles, and I think I did all of the Les Seguins albums, and I did an album with Marie-Claire and Richard solo, and you know, about 80 albums in that period of 70s and early 80s. After that 13 years of making records, I'd made a lot of records, and I felt like I was getting kind of bored, and I decided, well, I'll take some courses at university, and I got the disease again, or I got the addiction came back to learn, and then what a friend of mine who had actually been a student of mine, because I taught recording at Studio 6 for a number of years, and he had gone off and gone back to university and then gone to CAE. He brought his manager over and they told me about digital signal processing. So that, I said, you mean you can change sound with mathematics? I said, okay, I'm in.
Amelia, it seemed like a long time ago. Summer breeze, there's something that I'd like to know. Did you feel the same way that I did on that day when I first held you close in my arms? Oh, Amelia, Amelia, I remember the blue dress you wore. And how we laughed ourselves silly as we rode back to the shore. But I thought I saw some doubt in your eyes. It could have been a reflection of clouds in the sky. Amelia, I just don't understand how love like us can disappear with thin air. What is the reason for this? You appear in my dreams, and then I remember your kiss. Am I in your dreams as you are in mine? Will we wake up together someday? Oh, Amelia,
I ended up moving to Ottawa because my wife was from Ottawa, and we decided, let's go to Ottawa because we want to have a child and let's bring it up around family. And so I spent 20 years in Nortel doing signal processing and all kinds of high-tech computer stuff. And when I left Nortel, I just sort of naturally, I didn't decide to get back into the music business, but I sort of naturally fell right back into it. Here I am in Lac-Brome with high-speed internet. I mean, most of the work that I do, mixing and mastering, I get the materials over the internet. So I've mixed albums for guys in Boston. I did a couple of single mixes for a group in England. And all of this stuff comes in over the internet, and here I am in my pajamas upstairs in the country with the snow coming down. This part of the house was built in 1856, and upstairs it's the old floors and the roof is slanted. And acoustically, the room just turned out, it used to be the old master bedroom, I guess, but it just turned out to be very, very good. For years I was working freelance and working, the record plant in LA and up in Morin Heights and all the studios in Montreal, and I consider myself mostly retired. So I'm not working, making records and doing other people's music that much during the year. It comes in bursts of weeks or months. But in between, I'm getting into playing myself, so I've done a few gigs at the Star Cafe in Knowlton, and I did one in Toronto with my daughter, actually. And so yeah, I've sort of working harder on my guitar playing and singing and trying to finish songs that I've written, some of them many, many years ago. So.
40 days on the road and we're home again. Gig after gig, life becomes a blur, but then a tour out west, musicians' dues to pay. I love to roam, but it feels so good to be home. On Vancouver Island, they loved us there. We gave it our all, souls laid bare. So high on playing, we were up all night. I love to roam, but it feels so good to be home. Saskatoon in the rearview mirror. The next town is far, but it seems so near. The road ahead to eternity. I love to roam, but it feels so good to be home. A musician's life can be hard sometimes. The musical magic casts its spell. They get you through another day. That musical madness we know so well. The car broke down in Thunder Bay, an impromptu gig, and they asked us to stay. They seemed like people that we'd always known. I love to roam, but it feels so good to be home. Along Superior, down through the Sioux, we backseat harmonized till 2:30. The rhythm of the road was our metronome. I love to roam, but it feels so good to be home. When I saw the mountains as we crested the hill, my breathing slowed and my heart stood still. In Shefford's shadow we passed Mont-Brome. I love to roam, but it feels so good to be home. I love to roam, but it feels so good to be home.
Les services financiers ARB ont l'expertise nécessaire pour tous vos besoins de tenue de livre, rapport d'impôt, TPS-TVQ, état financier et services de paye. Ralph Buschenbaum et Benoît Carrier sont là pour vous. 450-292-5835.
When I was making records, and even now, I just put my whole heart and soul into it, and that's where my creative and musical energy goes. I was kind of like George Martin. I was the fifth guy in the group. You know, that's the way I work. I feel like I'm a part of the group. I sort of join the group, and try to figure out what they're doing. And because I'm the technical guy, I help them get it the way they'd like to hear it. To me, that's creative. It's the joy is you listen to the final version. And I just talked to Mario Ligari, who was in October. You know, he says, "You're the reason I'm still in music." I'm going, "Really?" And you know, he was kind of down and he was feeling like bummed out. I mean, you have ups and downs in any career, you know. Patted him on the back and I said, you know, keep going and everything. But so to me, there's a joy in. I did like Boule Noire, George Thurston's first album. Well, you know, I just did the first album, but I mixed like 4 or 5 of the hits that were all on radio. And he had all this career and I never worked with him again, but it feels really great to me that I gave him a kickstart, you know. It wasn't just me, of course, it's the whole team, but, you know, it's great to be involved in that, right? And sometimes people don't know that you're there, that's okay, you know.
Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? How the music can free her whenever it starts, and it's magic. If the music is groovy, makes you feel happy, like an old-time movie. I'll tell you about the magic, it'll free your soul. But it's like trying to tell a stranger about rock and roll. If you believe in magic, don't bother to choose sharp band music or rhythm and blues. Just go and listen. Start with a smile. It won't wipe off your face, no matter how you try. Your foot starts tapping and you can't seem to find how you got there. Just blow your mind. If you believe in magic, come along with me. We'll dance till morning, till it's just you and me. And maybe, if the music is right, I'll meet you tomorrow, somewhere late at night. And we'll go dancing, babe, and then you'll see the magic's in the music and the music's in me, yeah. Do you believe in magic? Believe in the magic, the younger soul. Believe in the magic of rock and roll. Believe in the magic, it'll set you free, yeah. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic?
There's budgetary constraints now. We know the whole story about the music industry. So there's a lot of overdubs as opposed to getting a group of people in a really good sounding room, having them play together and capture that event. And that doesn't happen very often anymore, including the kinds of things that I do. I mean, we had a guy do a piano overdub in Victoria, BC, and I had done some tracks in an apartment in Montreal, and it all comes out sounding okay. Technically, it sounds fine. And musically, it's all, you know, in tune, in time, and everything. But you don't have the two people kind of working off each other. And if you're doing one thing at a time, it's a one-way street. You can only play with what came before, but what came before can't play with you. So if you do your vocals last, the drummer is not going to jump up and push you or react to the way you're singing or slow down because you want to slow down. I think now, because we have the ability to tighten everything up, both in tuning, we can make sure everything's absolutely in tune. We can make sure everything's absolutely in time. We can make sure that everything sounds perfect. And then you bring it to mastering, and they make sure that every song in the album kind of sounds the same, which is something I'm starting to have a problem with. All the way along the line, you're kind of homogenizing everything. Music is all about an emotional energy transfer, right? A lot of those things work against it. I like to bring in, you know, the most number of musicians I can. I like them to play together and capture the song. Get the feeling. Really, the song is the important thing. You can always fix a little mistake here or there.
You got the love that turns me on. Oh, Anita, you got the love that turns me round and round. I hear a whistle train coming down. getting foggy, hard to see. We melt together in that sound, holding on for love, you and me. And I know that you got to live, and I know that I got to give. I see the stars in your eyes. I feel your heart in the sky. You're my moon. And I know that you got to live, and I know that I got to give a little bit.
I prefer to work digitally just because it's simpler and cheaper, of course, and it's a different color palette. It's almost like, well, I prefer oil paint. Well, no, I prefer acrylic or watercolor. Initially, the first digital album, the first one I remember was Stevie Wonder's Song to the Key of Life, and I remember listening to that, and it sounded awful. I think they thought, oh, digital is so perfect, we don't have to do anything anymore. Whereas with analog, you really worked to make sure it sounded good on tape, first of all, and then when you were transferring to vinyl, it was a challenge to get it to really pop like, say, Michael Jackson or all of those early albums we love so much, right? Took talent on many levels to get that to work.
Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go down to New Orleans. You know I love you so. Turn your lamp down low. Turn your lamp down low. Turn your lamp down low. I beg you all night long. Baby, please don't go. You brought me way down here. You brought me way down here. Like a rolling fog, you treat me like a dog. But baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Please don't go down to New Orleans, 'cause I love you so.
I started on an 8-track Scully, and I mean, the drums were always, a lot of times on one track, and you didn't have much control. But the good thing is you didn't have much control, because what happens is a lot of time when we went to 16 and 24, you'd have these amazing tracks and you say, wow, listen to that, By the time you get to the mix, it was gone because you'd added overdubs that didn't really belong with that original balance. And when you tried to mix it all, it didn't fit together. So what you were forced to sort of, and of course the singer says, oh no, I turned the snare drum down, it's bothering me, and all that kind of stuff. So then you get to the mix, you bring the snare drum up and you find out, ooh, that doesn't work with the voice. Well, no, duh, of course not.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, I wonder this time where she's gone. I wonder if she's gone to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house ain't no home anytime she goes away. And I know, 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 I know. Hey, gonna leave this thing alone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house ain't